Oh, there you are. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my shoebox adventures. Steve, the happy camper here. I'm in Quartzsite again. Give you a look. I'm again up here on Palmosa Road. I have no idea where I am other than that. It's off Palmosa Road. And still 200, 300 yards away is the nearest guy, the nearest camper. Get a little privacy. It's super silent here. I'm sure that those people 200 yards away can hear me right now, but I want to do a video. Remember a few videos ago we talked about solo camping, senior solo camping, is it safe? Spurred by that question on a senior camping page from a woman who was recently widowed. She wants to tent camp now. She wanted to know if it was safe, but I think she's going to do it because she also asked other questions. She asked, what kind of tent do I need? What should I sleep on? How do I stay warm when it's really cold? These kinds of things. So I thought it'd be fun to address these issues since I've been tent camping my whole life. So let's start with tents. Behind me I've got a tent. This is the last tent I had before I got the Runaway and before I got the Napier tent that attaches to it. Now you'll see I've got the footprint. I've got the ground cloth down. I always put a cloth under your tent because you don't want any holes in the bottom of your tent. If you have holes in the bottom of your tent, obviously water is going to come in at the floor if it rains. So it's very important to protect the bottom of your tent. It's also a thermal barrier. It'll make it a little bit warmer in there. So that's all we need to say about that. I think what I want to show you is tents that are easy to put up. Okay, if I'm 71, yeah, good guess. And I've got all kinds of arthritis and mobility issues, and I have no upper body strength. I mentioned struggling with that Napier tent with the big heavy poles. I want to show you some tents that are easy to put up. They might not be the smallest things to carry around or the lightest things to carry around, but they're going to go up easy even if you're a 5 foot tall, 100-pound senior female camping alone. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to do it in real time. You can move ahead because if it's really quick and easy to put up, we don't need to do the fast forward thing, except that I'm kind of a slow guy. But let's look at this. Okay, I hate unboxings. The only reason I'm doing this out of the bag is because you really need to see in real life how long it takes. Wow, what have we got in here? Rainfly. We're not going to mess with the rainfly probably. I never put the rainfly on this particular tent before because it was always in summertime, camping in the summer, no rain. Now it's been super windy here today. Hope that doesn't come back up at me, but they call this a fast pitch tent. I think they have other names for them. Lots of people make them. Core makes one. Coleman I've seen make one, but see, everything's attached. You don't have to. I can't even remember how to do this. You don't have to. You don't have to thread poles. This is going to be dirty because last time I packed up, it was an emergency get out of Dodge situation. All right, let's see what we've got. All right, there's a door. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. All right, so fast pitch tent, right? The poles are attached. So all we're gonna do here, if I can remember, that's a big if, guys. If I can remember, because it's so easy. Oh, is there a center thing? Oh, it's already attached. 1, 2. Now, I'm going to hide behind the tent here. I hope you can hear me. 2. And 3. And 4. Hop, the door's over here. Party foul. But as you can see, that was pretty quick and easy to put up, right? Now we still got to nail down. You want to secure the corners, of course, but that's a hammer and 4 stakes, and now you're done. If you want to put a rain fly on it, that takes another few minutes. Here we've got our Stargazer ceiling. Good ventilation. If it's super, super cold or you think there's the slightest chance that it's going to rain, you'll want to put the rain fly on. The rain fly will keep that cold air from just dropping straight through. Without the rain fly, without something over that, it's just like camping with no tent at all as far as cold air coming in there on you. But that's not a big issue. We'll cover how to stay warm in a different video. But there you go. And now this one says Cuomo Top on it. Ignore that. This company's out of business, but I think that they just bought these from the manufacturer and stuck their name on them. Core, my son has a Core tent. Looks exactly like this, but it's slightly larger. I mean, I can stand up in here. Let's look. Let's look. Hope the giant winds don't come up and blow it away. Here we go. So I can stand up. Hi, guys. And just barely. I'm 5'8", with the hat. Call it 5'9". But that's all you need. You can change your clothes. There's plenty of room in here to put sleeping and all your gear. I think this is rated as a 4-person tent. Any tent that's a 4-person tent, that's a 2-person tent. They mean 4 people can sleep in there shoulder to shoulder across the floor. You don't want to do that. Never get a well, you know, if it's a 2-person tent, it's definitely a 1-person tent. I like to go at least 3 and maybe 4. Now these things, they make these much, much bigger. Also, let me mention, if you want more room, it's not any harder to put up the bigger ones. You saw what I did. Click, 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 we're done. We nail some stakes in the 4 corners, we're done. If you really want to secure it and you're worried about it, put a guy line on here and tie it off. But the bigger ones aren't any harder to put up. They just take a little bit longer because there's going to be more than 4 clicks. There's probably going to be 6 poles involved. And then it might even be a 2-room tent. They sell them, and these are relatively inexpensive. I think they're under $150. So here's one option for you. Senior citizen wants an easy tent to put up. You know, I struggle with the ones with the poles, and you got to put the pole in the pin, and you got to bend it. Yeah, it's terrible. So the smaller the tent, if you're going to do the one with the poles that slide through, the smaller the tent, the easier it is to put up. The larger the tent, the more difficult. Recommend 2 people. But what was I saying? Yeah, the drawbacks to a tent like this compared to the one with the poles that collapse is it's a bigger package. You saw the package that I pulled it out of, so that you've got to have room in your tow vehicle to throw that. It's not that big as far as I'm concerned, but for some people it might be an issue. They might want a tent that's really small. Then you're going to go with those collapsing poles, and I can't help you. The smaller, again, the easier it is to put up. It's not that big a deal. But now I'm kind of in a hurry. I like this, right? I like this. Now, that is really all there is to it. You don't need to see me pounding pegs in on the corners. And the rain fly is pretty easy to throw on there and secures here. And there's places in the corners to secure the rain fly. So it's, you know, it's an easy gig. It just covers up all this mesh so no rain can get in. You know, comes down. So there you have it, the fast pitch tent. All right, there's one option. I'm going to move along. I think I'm going to show you something else too. Another more substantial tent, slightly more expensive tent, and a slightly larger package tent that you might be interested in, especially if you're going to camp in the winter where you might run into rain and wind and those kinds of things on a regular basis. So stand by for me. We're gonna cut here. And I mentioned in that is it safe to camp alone situation, I talked about how putting up an extra tent for your dry storage, you know, you can get all your stuff out of your car, and your second tent you can put your stuff in and arrange it. But it looks like there's more than one person camping there. Very important. We'll show you what that looks like when we're all done with all this setup. All right, hey everyone, we're back for tent number 2. This tent is the Gazelle hub tent. These are supposed to be very fast to put up. Now, I've never put this tent up, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by anyone. No one knows I exist. I have to buy these things with my own money, and you're wondering, why do you have all these tents? Well, that one's the tent I had before I got the Runaway, and of course the Napier tent. You can see here my 10 by 10 by 7 foot tall, hard to put up, but love that tent. Napier. Now, If I'm not going to attach that tent to the runaway, if there's a situation where I can't put it there for whatever reason, not enough room, blah, 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 then I'm not putting it up. It's too much trouble. The only reason I like it is because it attaches to my camper and I can go back and forth. So hence, I got this tent. Now, sometimes I'm going to go out and I'm not even going to bring the runaway. I'm going to do some overlanding, whatever. Maybe I'm going to attach a different trailer to my truck so I can't bring the runaway. Then I need a tent. I'm still camping. So I got this Overland Edition. It's a T4 tent, supposed to be for 4 people, supposed to go up really quick, supposed to be great in bad weather. You can see this is a bigger package, right? Bigger than the fast pitch tent we just saw. It's also heavier than the fast pitch tent that we just saw. You got to keep that in mind. See, I can throw this right on my rack on top of my runaway. I don't have to put it in a car. This might be a reason that you don't want this tent. And, you know, I'm old and weak, and this is heavy to me. But I can lug it around, I can get it to where I need to go. Usually you're not going to carry this far from your vehicle. You're going to put it right there. So let's get this out of the bag. I've never had it out of the bag and I've never put it up. I've had it for 6 months and it's still brand new. So if you want to skip ahead, if I'm taking too long, I'm doing it in real time, because then you'll know in real time how long it takes to put this tent up. And like all tents, once you do it a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times, it gets easier. This impossible thing actually did get easier, although easy is not the right word for it. But let's see what we've got here. Let's see if I can figure out how to get in. It's got a nice strap around the bag here. You can see how I bend my legs, right? Negative. Never bend my leg. Bad back. Uh-oh, Velcro, problem. Nice padded handle here. For those of you who don't want to get a tent that doesn't have a nice padded handle on the bag, that might be the tipping point for you right there. I like it because of the handle. All right. So, because I've never used this tent, this is as good as it's ever going to look, and it'll never look this good again. Now, this tent comes with its own footprint. You don't have to go get a tarp. The tarps aren't very expensive. I like the tarp idea. If it gets ugly, you can just throw it away, buy a new one. Down the road someday, this footprint will be ruined, and I'll have to buy another tarp. Not a big deal. All right, so let's get this, since I'm standing right where I'm going to put up the tent. Look at how strong I am. We're going to move it over here because I've got to put a footprint down. Don't want to ruin the bottom of my brand new tent. Look at that. One side's kind of rubberized. I wonder which one I want up and which one I want down. If it has instructions, you guys know men never read instructions. We just give it a shot, and then once we screw it all up, then we pull out the instructions to see what we did wrong. Now, to make the video interesting, Mother Nature's going to kick up again just to embarrass me here. I've been fighting winds. I showed up on Sunday night. Too late, of course. Things happen, as usual. And we had 20 to 30 mile an hour winds with 40 mile an hour gusts Sunday night, all through Monday. I really thought the Napier was going to take off and be gone. I'm surprised that it survived, to tell you the truth. I had to sleep with earplugs because the noise, the wind noise, it was just howling. The runaway was actually moving. All right, so they're expecting, up to 20 mile an hour gusts today, but I've been kind of lucky. They come and go. I was hoping that they would leave me alone for my demo here. All right, so here's the tent. Strap again. Boom. Strap off. Never put this tent up before. It's supposed to be easy. So easy a caveman could do it. Uh-oh, what do we got? Let me guess. Rainfly. Rainfly. Bag of something. All right, these are things that you will know after the first time you put it up. So here we go. And again, all the poles are attached. You don't do any threading. Let me see if I can figure this out. I've seen these done. This is like a clam. And you just pull, and boom, there's one wall. Okay. You just reach in and pull. And there's 2 walls. I've got a good feeling about this. Halfway home. There's 3 walls. Come on, old timer. Hang on, wind's blowing. I should have set a clock. Are you guys timing this? Yeah, be sure to time it from home. And the third one is giving me trouble. This is supposed to get easier as you break it in. As you break it in. Come on, man. All right. Halfway up. Woo, 3. Just know if I can do this, anybody can do this. All right. And, come on, Giselle. Gazelle. Oh, there we go. Hope that that's true, that it gets easier. Because that last pull was kind of a tough one. What's going on here? Something doesn't seem right. Oh, now it does. Yeah, I'm not tired. Piece of cake. All right, so you can move it around. It's nice and light. See? You can move it around, and that's nice. You could pop it open and then move it onto your footprint. Now let's figure this out. Here's the door. Of course, you got to stake it down. Wow, it's nice in here. Welcome to my home. So a few things that I've read about this, the people don't like, and there's nothing they can do about it because of the shape, because of the way this is constructed. This is the door. So getting things in and out means you got to lift your leg. Now, they've got these ties here, so I can tie this open, right? Tie this open. We'll demonstrate tying it open a little bit. Little bow so I can get it back out easily. Boom, there we go. And visualize, well, might as well just do the real deal. You will want to do this nicer than I've done it. But this tent already looks good to me. Now the other one was, because it was so light, might be considered easier. But let me tell you a few things I like about it. Oh, we're not done yet. I'm going to put the Rainfly on just because I've never done it on this tent. And I want to see how easy it is. Hey, okay, maybe I'll take you on an inside tour here in a second. Once you've seen one tent, you've seen them all. So you secure the Rainfly with these little hooks. I like this. There's no ropes to do. Right? I'll be back in a minute. Get this secure. Okay, so now we've got a pretty good looking tent. Now, if you're going to be up in a high wind, not only do you want to do the four corners, but if the wind is blowing, say this way, the wind's coming this way and it's coming hard, you'll want to have a rope. You want to tie this down also, because if the wind blows hard enough, it can push this in and collapse aside. So you'll do that. Then you know it's good. What I like about this tent, I've never seen it before, but obviously I've seen some reviews. Every other tent, look at the Napier tent. Look at the Comotop, which is out of camera. But they all have pitched roofs, right? So here I've got a 10 by 10 tent. But I don't get to use the entire floor. I mean, I can put gear in the corners, but you can't stand up. This is robbing me of stand-up space. So this business, as you can see, is just the opposite. These walls have pulled out. So your entire footprint here, and I don't even know how big it is usable. I can stand right against the wall. Like, here I am, and this is all usable. So I like that. So it creates a tent that's really bigger than it appears to be. The same footprint on a different tent, a conventional tent, you're going to get more use out of this. Now this is supposed to be very, very substantial. It's supposed to hold up to wind if you do this, if you do what we talked about, and rain. It's supposed to hold up to rain really well. Now, if you're camping where there's not going to be any rain and it's nice weather, it's sunny, and you want to look through that mesh at the stars at night or have better airflow, don't even put this on. Leave that off. So there you have it. There are 2 ideas for tents that senior solo campers, people camping alone, you don't have to be old. Young people can appreciate this. They go up relatively easy, not struggling with poles like I do with my beloved Napier tent. So I can say for a fact, I'm going to try this out in the very near future. I'm going to leave Napier home, or at least leave it in the bag, and try to operate with just this. I'll figure out where I want to put it, because I need a place to stand up and change my clothes. Do your homework and investigate, but try to find one that you don't, that just go up. You know, if you get someplace late, you want to put it up quick. If you get someplace where the weather's not very good, you want to put it up quick. And again, if you're cool with these poles, I don't mean to cast disparaging remarks on this construction, but this particular one, because the pole goes all the way 7 feet up, all the way to the other corner, which is more than 10 feet away, that's a long, heavy pole, and it's really hard. You put a little pin in one end, you guys know the drill, and then you got to try to get and the other pole, they're both threaded through at the same time, so you got all that weight, and it's trying to move to the left, and it's trying to move to the right. First time I put that tent up, not counting staking it out, just putting it up. It took me 45 minutes. I almost gave up. It's gotten better. It's gotten better. I love the tent, but I really like this. It just doesn't attach to the back of my runaway. And when I go camping without my runaway, do some overlanding, maybe tow a quad or some dirt bikes or something out to a place like this and have fun, I'm going to need this, right? Still need, this is going to be a great tent. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope this helps. There are tents out there that us old folks, all by ourselves, can put up relatively quickly. Come back and see me. We're going to talk about what to sleep on, I think, next. We're going to go into that, and then we'll talk about how to stay warm, all right? Thanks again for watching, you guys. Remember, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and go ahead and share. Pass this on. I need all the help I can get. Until next time, thanks for watching. Is it Obeer 100 yet? I think it is. Happy camping, everyone. Bye-bye now.